Okay, now we're going to work some systems word problems. Okay, the first thing we have to do is set up the two equations, or actually the second thing. Now, what I do typically when I read through the question, I'll focus on the last sentence first. It says find the number of boys and the number of girls. That right there tells me what the two unknowns are. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define the variables. I'm going to use B for the number of boys and G for the number of girls. Okay, now when I say define the variables, that's what I mean. Choose the two unknowns and give them a letter. It doesn't matter what letter. You can use X and a Y for each and every one. It doesn't matter which letter you choose. But just make sure you define or tell me what the two variables are. Now, each of my two equations are going to have a B and a G in it. Okay? Now, with the first sentence, there are 22 students in a classroom. Using a B and a G, how would I write that sentence? How about the number of boys plus the number of girls equals 22? Okay, using a B and a G, that's how I say there are 22 students in the classroom. Okay, now, next sentence. There are 12 more girls than boys. Now, I always start with the larger one. What's larger, the girls or the boys? Okay, the girls are larger. Okay, so I'm going to start with G equals. Now, how would I say there are 12 more girls than there are boys? That could be 12 plus B or B plus 12, either one. Okay, now, as we look at these, we have our system. Now we have to decide how we're going to solve it. Are we going to solve it by elimination or substitution? I'm going to choose substitution. Number one, because my variables and everything aren't lined up correctly, and it's already solved for a single variable. I have a G by itself. Okay, so that's the first step of substitution, solve for a single variable. Okay, next step, take the other equation. Okay, and now B plus 12 is the same thing as G, so I'm going to put this B plus 12 in for the letter G. Okay, that's my substitution part. So B plus 12 equals 22. Okay, now combine like terms. B plus B is 2B. Okay, now we've gotten rid of the G. We just have a B. We have a single variable, so now solve for the single variable. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Now I have 2B equals 10. Okay, then divide both sides by 2 to get the B by itself. So B equals 5. Okay, there are 5 boys in the classroom, but now I need to find out how many girls. So the third step, substitute this 5 back into either one of the original equations. Okay, B equals 5, so I'm going to put that 5 in for B. Okay, so there are 17 girls. 17 girls, 5 boys. Okay, number 2. Okay, same starting point. Okay, first we need to find the variables, or what's the unknown. We read through this. Okay, and like I said, start with the last sentence that usually tell you at least one of the variables. How much money does each have? Each refers to Marta and Heidi. Okay, so I'm going to define my variables. I'm going to use M for Marta's money and H for Heidi's money. Okay, so now each one of my equations will have an M and an H. First sentence, Marta has twice as much as Heidi. Once again, who has more? Marta does. Marta equals. How would I say twice as much, or 2 times as much as Heidi? That would just simply be 2H. Okay? Together, they have $36. Using an M and an H, how would I say they have $36? How about M plus H equals 36? Once again, is it set up for elimination? No. But it is solved for a single variable, so we're going to use substitution. Solve for a single variable, it's already done. M equals 2H. Take the other equation. M plus H equals 36. Okay, 2H is the same thing as M, so I'm going to put this 2H in for M. 2H plus H equals 36. Combine like terms. 2H plus 1H is 3H. Now to get H by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So H equals 12. So Heidi has $12. Now we need to find out how much Marta has. Go back to either one of the original equations. I'll take this one. Okay, and I'm going to substitute 12 in for H. So Marta equals 2 times 12, which is $24. So Heidi has 12. Marta has $24. Okay. Next example. Okay. Read through this. Okay. When you get to the last sentence, it says, how many miles did Alan ride? That tells us one of the variables. We know we're trying to find out how much Alan rode. So I'm going to use an A for Alan's miles. Okay, now read the rest of it and find the other variable that we don't know. Okay, and once we read that, we notice it's Bill. So B for Bill's miles. Now, each equation will have an A and a B. So using that A and a B, how would I write Alan rode his bike 3 times as far as Bill? Who went further? Alan. So A equals, how would I say 3 times as far as Bill? 3B. That's 3 times Bill. Next sentence. Alan rode 16 miles further than Bill. So once again, Alan went further. Alan equals 16 more than Bill. So Bill plus 16. Okay. Now, elimination or substitution. I'm going to use substitution again. I'm going to substitute this 3b, since it's already solved for a single variable, in for A of the other equation. So 3b equals b plus 16. Now, the a's are gone. Now we can solve for b. You have to notice we have variables on both sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the variable on the same side. I'm going to subtract b from both sides. 3b minus b is 2b, and we only have 16 on the other side of the equal. So to solve for b, divide both sides by 2. So Bill went 8 miles. Okay, but the question is, how many miles did Alan ride? So go back to one of the original equations. Okay, we can substitute this 8 in for b. 3 times 8 is 24. So Alan rode 24 miles. Okay, and the fourth example. Pet shop has a collection of 15 cats and dogs. Now, go to the last sentence. How many cats does the pet shop have? So we know C is one of the variables. C is for the number of cats. And the other one, Okay, the dogs, so I'm going to use D for the number of dogs. Okay, so now, first sentence, a pet shop has a collection of 15 cats and dogs. So using a C and a D, how do I say there are 15 of them? That would just simply be C plus D equals 15. Okay. Then the second sentence, there's 4 times as many cats as dogs. So there's more cats, so C equals, how would I say 4 times the number of dogs? Just be 4D. Once again, it's set up for substitution. Solve for a single variable. It's already done. The C is by itself. Take the other equation. Okay, substitute this 4D in for C. So 4D plus D equals 15. Combine like terms, 4D plus 1D is 5D. Okay, now to get the D by itself, divide both sides by 5. So D equals 3. Okay, but we're looking for how many cats, so we have to plug it back in. Either equation. I chose this one because it's a little bit easier. Substitute 3 in for D. Okay, so there are 4 times 3 is 12 cats. That's what we're looking for. Cats equals 12. Good there. Now, these first 4 examples will help you with 9.1. Okay, 9.2 have 4 more examples. These should help you with, the work on 9.2. Okay, now, this is a perimeter problem. A rectangular field is 12 feet longer than it's wide, and its perimeter is 76 feet. Find the width. This tells me one of the variables. Okay, width. Okay, now we're also dealing with length. We don't know the length. Okay, so now let's deal with this first sentence first. A rectangular field is 12 feet longer than it's wide. Okay, so it's longer, so L equals, how would I say 12 more than the width? W plus 12. Okay, now, anytime you see perimeter, okay, I'm just going to draw a picture real quick. Perimeter. Add up around the outside. So L plus W plus W, or 2L plus 2W is going to give me my perimeter. Now, they tell us what the perimeter is. They tell us the perimeter is 76 feet. Okay, so 2L plus 2W equals 76. Now we have our 2 equations. Determine whether it's set up for substitution or elimination. It's solved for a single variable here, so I'm going to use substitution. Step 1, solve for that variable. It's already done. Step 2, take the other equation. Okay, and we're going to substitute this W plus 12 in for L. Okay, everything else stays exactly the same. Okay, now once we've substituted, we have to distribute. 2 times W, 2W, 2 times 12, 24. Combine like terms. 2W plus 2W is 4W. Okay, now to solve for W, I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. So 4W equals 52. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 4 to get the W by itself. So 52 divided by 4. The width is 13. Okay, now that's what make sure you check It doesn't say find the length, it just says find the width. So, and we found the width, so width equals 13. If they ask for the length, then you would take this 13, plug it back in, and solve for L. Next one. Okay, start at the last sentence again. How many nickels and how many dimes does your brother have? Those are the two unknowns. So I'm going to use N for the number of nickels and D for the number of dimes. Okay, so each of my equations will have an N and a D in there. It says, your grandmother gives your little brother 42 coins. Okay, some are dimes and some are nickels. So N, the number of nickels, plus the number of dimes, he has 42 of them, so they have to equal 42. Okay, now, when you're dealing with a total amount of money, we'll talk about this more here in just a minute, you're going to have to multiply the variables by how much they're worth. For instance, nickel, it's worth 5 cents. So I'm going to go 0.05 N plus dimes are worth 10 cents, so I'm going to say that's 0.10 D equals that $3. Now, we notice here my N's are lined up, my D's are lined up, and it's set up for elimination. Now, in this one we have to find both the nickels and the dimes, so it doesn't matter which one I try to eliminate. Now, I'm choosing to eliminate the dimes. Okay, since this says 0.1 dimes, I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 0.1. Okay, let's distribute that. That's negative 0.1 N minus 0.1 D equals negative 4.2. Okay, we eliminate by adding. Okay, we add this negative 0.05 plus a negative 0.1, that's negative 0.05 N. The D's are gone, they're eliminated, equals negative 1.2. Now to solve for N, I'm just going to divide both sides by negative 0.05. Okay. Negative divided by negative is a positive N, or positive 1N, equals negative 1.2 divided by negative 0.05. 24. So the number of nickels equals 24. Now to find the dimes, take the original, either one of the original equations. Now the first one would probably be easier. Okay, substitute 24 in for nickels. Subtract 24 from both sides. Okay. 42 minus 24 is 18. So there are 24 nickels, 18 dimes. Good there. Number 3. This one's very similar to the last one. The drama club is selling tickets to its play. Now, at the end, like I said, start at the last sentence. How many adult tickets must I sell? That's one of the unknowns. A, so I'm going to use A for number of adult tickets. Okay. Okay, read through here, find another unknown. Adult tickets, there's student tickets. We don't know how many student tickets, so S is for student tickets. And now, both the variables, both of the equations will have an A and an S. Okay, let's read through here. The cost of an adult ticket is $4.50 and the cost of a student ticket is $2.50. We'll use those here in a minute. The theater can hold 250 people and they want to make $1,005. So first of all, how would I say they sold 250 tickets using an A and an S? So the number of adult tickets plus the student tickets is going to equal 250. Now, total amount of money. Remember, multiply the variable by how much it costs. So it's going to equal $1,005. The adult tickets are $450. So I'm going to use 4.5 times the A plus 2.5 times the S. So 4.5A plus 2.5S equals the $1,005. Now, it says how many adult tickets must they sell? If I want to solve for A, I'm going to try to eliminate the S's, okay, to save that second step. So, if you look here, if that's positive 2.5, to eliminate, this would have to be negative 2.5S. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 2.5. Okay, that's negative 2.5A minus 2.5S. Get my calculator. 250 times negative 2.5 is negative 625. Okay, now eliminate. Eliminate by adding. When I add 4.5 plus a negative 2.5, that gives me 2A. The S's are gone, equals 1,005 plus a negative 625. Okay, that's 380. Okay, now to solve for A, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. 380 divided by 2 is 190. So must sell 190 adult tickets. Okay, and that answers the question. How many adult tickets must they sell? 190. And the last one. Okay, at these rates, how much would bacon alone cost? That's the unknown. So let's use a B for bacon. And the other variable is the eggs. So I'm going to use E for eggs. Okay. Now it says 2 eggs and bacon cost $3.15. So 2 eggs would be 2E plus bacon. There's only one of them, so plus B equals $3.15. Okay. Next sentence, 1 egg with bacon. So 1E plus B equals $2.20. How much would bacon alone cost? So we want to solve for B. So let's eliminate the E's. To do that, I'm going to multiply this second equation. Since that says 2, I want this one to say negative 2. So I'm going to multiply the whole thing by negative 2. Negative 2E minus 2B equals negative $6.30. Oh, that's not right. Oh, I multiplied it wrong. How about $6.40? That works. Okay. Now, just for simplicity purposes, I'm just going to rewrite the first equation. Okay. Eliminate by adding. The E's are gone. That's 0. Add these. That's negative 1B equals 640. Okay. Equals negative 325. Now, it says negative B. I want to solve for positive B, so I'm just going to divide each side by negative 1. So bacon cost $3.25. Oops, I just messed up completely. Excuse me. Pardon me. My math was off. Okay, back up a little bit. We'll start right here. See, I can. Okay, I did this part right. Multiply by negative 2. That's negative. Okay. Wait a second, I will just scratch that. I'll go right here. We're good here. 2e plus b equals 315. Then e plus b equals 220. Okay, now eliminate the eggs. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by -2. Negative 2e minus 2b equals -440. Good there. Okay, write the first equation. Okay, now eliminate by adding. The e's are gone. That's -1b equals -125. That works out a little bit better. So now divide by -1. So b equals $1.25. There's my solution. Okay. I hope this helps out, and if you have any more questions, please bring them to me.